Good morning, students. Today's class we are going to discuss about the next lesson, that is fifth lesson, alkali metals and alkaline earth metals. Already we have discussed periodic classification lesson. In that periodic classification lesson, in periodic table there are totally 4 blocks of elements present. They are S block, P block, D block and F block elements we have discussed earlier already. Where they are present in the periodic table. S block elements are present in the left hand side of the periodic table and P block elements are present in the right side of the periodic table, that is from group 13 to 18. And D block elements are present in between the S and P block elements, and F block elements are present in the periodic table as a bottom, that is bottom of the periodic table. These S block elements are nothing but only 2 groups. First 2 groups are called as an S block elements in the periodic table. First group is called as an, already you have learnt in your lower classes, first group elements are called alkali metals and second group elements are called as an alkaline earth metals. Okay, so the elements belonging to the group 1 and 2 in the modern periodic table is called as an S block elements. The element belonging to these 2 groups are commonly known as alkali metals and alkaline earth metals. So in this unit, we study their properties, uses and important compounds and its biological importance, and all we are going to discuss in this lesson. Both alkali metals and alkaline earth metals. First, we are going to discuss about alkali metals. The first group, that is nothing but we can say 1s block elements. 1s block elements. The first group is called as an alkali metals. The word alkali is derived from the word as actually Arabic word. The word alkali is derived from the Arabic word alkuli. Alkali means plant ashes. The word alkali derived from the word alkuli, that is nothing but from Arabic word meaning plant ashes, referring to the original source of alkaline substances. A water extract of burnt plant ashes. Water extract of burnt plant ashes are called potash. Commonly, that is, it is contained, that is that water extract of burnt plant ashes contain mainly potassium carbonate. Potassium carbonate. So alkali metal group consists of the elements lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium and francium. So they are all are metals. Generally they are soft and highly reactive also. So they form oxides and hydroxides, and these compounds oxides and hydroxides are basic in nature, because S block elements mostly they are what alkali metals are metals. So metallic oxides are basic in nature, non-metallic oxides are acidic in nature. So that's why they are saying they form oxides and hydroxides. Hydroxide means OH, so basic in nature, and oxides means nothing but metallic oxides are basic in nature. So the compounds are basic in nature, they are saying. So alkali, the Arabic word, from that only, that is nothing but alkali derived. Okay, that what is the meaning for alkali? Plant ashes. Okay, understood? Okay, a water extract of burnt plant ashes called potash. It mainly consists of potassium carbonate. That's why they are what they are called as an alkali metals. Next, general characteristics of alkali metals. Alkali metals are highly reactive and are found in nature only as compounds. Rubidium and cesium are found associated in minute quantities with minerals of other alkali metals. Francium, that is nothing but it is one of the radioactive element and it does not occur appreciably in nature. Francium is highly radioactive. Its longest lived isotope. It is a longest lived isotopes. It has a half life of only 21 minutes. Only 21 minutes. Some of the elements, that is, what are the elements present in the alkali metals group, the abundance of earth's crust, what is the percentage abundance that they have given, and from which source it came, that also they have given in the tabular column. Okay, next one, electronic configuration. The next characteristics is nothing but we are going to discuss electronic configuration. You know, alkali metals means first group. Understood? Hydrogen 1 atomic number, so 1s1. Lithium, next to hydrogen in the first group, lithium. What is the atomic number of lithium? 3. How we can write the electronic configuration? 1s2, 2s1. So outermost cell 2s1. And the next to lithium, sodium. What is the atomic number of sodium? 11. How we can write the electronic configuration? 2, 8, 1. That is 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. After neon, 3s1. After neon, electronic configuration 3s1. Then after sodium, what is that? Potassium. After argon, electronic configuration 4s1. So outermost cell, there are totally only 1 electrons are present. So the first element in this group, that is nothing but 1s1, second element 2s1 in the outermost cell, 3s1, 4s1, so like that way. So outermost cell, s orbital, 1 electron is there. So these alkali metals can have the general electronic configuration of ns1, where n is represents the nothing but period number. First period 1s1, second period 2s1, like that way. Understood, ma? Okay, next one we are going to discuss about common oxidation state. All these alkali metals elements are highly electropositive in nature. Actually, electropositive in the periodic table, if we take, means left side of the periodic table, the elements present are highly electropositive. From left to right, if we move in the periodic table, electropositive character is decreases, and extreme right side of the periodic table, electronegative character is more. Understood? So now alkali metals are present in the left side of the periodic table. So it is a highly electropositive in nature. Understood? No? They readily lose their valence electron to give monovalent cation. That is M plus. Readily lose 1 electron in the valence shell and it will form what? Monovalent cation. Alkali metals have only one oxidation state, nothing but +1 oxidation state. Next one, atomic radii and ionic radii. What is meant by atomic radii, ionic radii? We have discussed already in periodic classification lesson. From the center part of the nucleus to the outermost cell of an atom is called atomic radius. Ion means ionic radius. So if you take atomic and ionic radius, in the first group, that is alkali metals, how it will be varying? Being the first element of each period, because alkali metals only totally 7 periods are there. 7 periods, first element, which group? Alkali metals group. So first period hydrogen only, first element, and second period alkali metal group only, lithium is the first element, and the third period sodium is the first element, potassium is the first element, next rubidium, cesium, francium. So alkali metals are nothing but first element. Being a first element in each period, alkali metals have the large atomic and ionic radii in their respective periods. So on moving down the group, there is an increase in the number of cells. But if we move down this group, means what? Top to bottom, if we move, means what about the size of the atom increases? Size of the atom increases means the number of cells increases. Okay, so what about the atomic and ionic radii will be increases. But from left to right in the periodic table, atomic and ionic radii decreases because of increase of nuclear charge. Because of increase of nuclear charge, already we have discussed in before lesson. Understood? No? Okay, so being a first element of each period, alkali metals can have a high atomic and ionic radii. And if we move from the top to bottom of the periodic table, what number of cells increases or size of the atom increases. So what about the atomic and ionic radii also will be increases. Understood? No? Okay, so on moving down the group, there is an increase in the number of cells, and therefore atomic and ionic radii increases. The monovalent ions M plus are smaller than the respective parent atoms as expected. Understood? And physical properties of alkali metals like ionic radius, melting point, boiling point, ionization energy, electronegativity, hydration enthalpy and all, they have given in the tabular column in your book. Okay. Characteristics of alkali metals we are going to discuss is nothing but next property, ionization enthalpy. What is meant by ionization enthalpy? Already we have discussed. The amount of energy required to remove an electron from an isolated gaseous atom is called as an ionization enthalpy or ionization energy. So alkali metals have the lowest ionization enthalpy because alkali metal is the nothing but what, first group present in the periodic table. So if we move from left to right in the periodic table, ionization energy increases, but being the first group alkali metals, it can have a lowest ionization enthalpy compared to other elements present in the group, that is period present in the that is concerned period, understood, respective period. Okay, example, if you take second period from lithium to neon, so lithium can have a less ionization energy compared to beryllium, compared to boron, carbon, nitrogen, so like that way. So boron more high ionization energy compared to boron, nitrogen more ionization energy. So if we move from left to right in the periodic table, ionization energy increases, but what about the alkali metals? Ionization energy have a lowest ionization energy. Understand? Okay, the next one, the second ionization enthalpy of alkali metals are very high. Why second? What is meant by second ionization enthalpy? From an isolated gaseous atom, if we remove one electron, that time how much amount of energy that atom required, that energy is called ionization enthalpy or ionization energy. That is called as an first ionization energy. Okay, so if the alkali metals, all the alkali metals can have in the outermost cell or valence cell one electron each. So that one electron it will lose. Okay, that time how much amount of energy it required, that is nothing but what, ionization energy. So first ionization energy. So after the formation of first ionization energy, alkali metals can have a octet or stable electronic configuration. That is M will become M plus. That M plus of alkali metals can have a octet electronic configuration. Example, sodium 11. If sodium lose one electron, it will become what, first ionization energy, that is it will become a Na plus. That time Na plus can have a octet stable neon electronic configuration. So second ionization energy means what, again that sodium will lose one electron and it will become a Na2 plus, that is called as a second ionization energy. But sodium plus Na plus can have octet stable electronic configuration, so it is not possible easily remove from that Na plus one electron. It is difficult. That's why they are saying, what they are saying, second ionization enthalpy of alkali metals are high. It require more energy to remove an electron from the M plus of alkali metals group. Understood? Because M plus of alkali metals group is nothing but octet electronic configuration in the outermost cell. So second ionization enthalpy of alkali metals are very high. The removal of an electron from the alkali metals gives monovalent cation having stable electronic configuration similar to noble gas. Therefore, it becomes very difficult to remove the second electron from the stable electronic configuration. Next one, hydration enthalpy. Hydration means hydrolysis, water soluble, we can say. So lithium salts, lithium, beryllium, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, like that way, the elements present in the alkali metals. Lithium chloride, potassium chloride, sodium chloride, rubidium chloride, cesium chloride, like that way it will form a salts. So lithium salts are more soluble than the salts of other metals of group 1. Example, LiClO4 is up to 12 times more soluble than NaClO4 salt, than KClO4 potassium chloride, than rubidium or RbClO4, than CsClO4. Have solubilities only 10 to the power minus 3 times of that LiClO4. So the high solubility of lithium salts is due to High solubility of lithium salts is due to strong solvation of small size of lithium ion Li plus ion, small size of Li plus ion only. Next property we are going to discuss is electronegativity. What is meant by electronegativity? Already the atoms are shared. Okay, two atoms combine and the two atoms electrons share and it will make a bond. That time between the two shared atoms, shared pair of electron will attract towards the among one of the atom, among the one of that atoms, that is A plus B gives A bond B. That time the two electron sharing of the two atoms will go and will go or attracted by one atom. Suppose example, attracted by B means, then how we can write A plus B minus. So that property is called as an electronegativity. That attractive property of that atom is called as an electronegativity. Alkali metals have comparatively smaller value of electronegativity than the other elements present in the respective period. So when they react with the other elements, they usually produce ionic compounds. When they react with other elements, they usually produce ionic compounds. Example, they react with halogens to form ionic halides like sodium chloride, potassium chloride, rubidium chloride, cesium chloride, like that way. Okay, the next property is nothing but flame color and the spectra. Flame color nothing but while the substance of the alkali metals or salts of the alkali metals will take and it will be dissolved in concentrated hydrochloric acid, and that will be taken in a wire or otherwise a stick, and that will be sewn in the flame. Bunsen burner means, so that time what that salt will produce the color, different color the salts produce, because while after make a paste with hydrochloric acid, alkali metal salts that will be introduced into the luminous parts of the Bunsen flame. That time the substance will be excited, nothing but while heating from ground state, electrons will be jump to the next higher energy level. After jumping again it will come to the it's to the original state. That time it will understand what I am saying. So while back to the actual energy level, the excess energy emitted as a light whose wavelength is in the visible region. Understood? So that's why flame will produce the different color. Example, if you take means lithium salts, lithium salts will produce crimson red, that is nothing but red color. Red is shade fully, that is called as a crimson red. And sodium will produce yellow color, and potassium will produce what they are saying lilac, that is lilac they are saying, that is nothing but pale pale blue, we can say pale blue, like that way the color will be there. Okay, understood? That color is called as an lilac, okay. We can say pale purple, like that way. So that color is called as an lilac. Potassium will produce that type of color, and rubidium will produce red is violet, and cesium will produce blue color. Understand why flame gives different color in the Bunsen flame? Nothing but the substance, that salts of the alkali metals will be dissolved in the concentrated hydrochloric acid. That paste will take in a wire, platinum wire, or otherwise take in a stick, and it will be sewn into the Bunsen flame. That time it will be heated. While heated, understood, the electrons from the ground level jump to the higher energy level. Again it will come to the original actual level. That time the emitted, that is nothing but extra energy will be emitted. Okay, while that will be visible as a colored flame color. Okay, the next one we are going to discuss about distinguished behavior of lithium. The distinctive behavior of lithium. behavior of lithium ion is due to the exceptionally small size, high polarizing power. High polarizing power means cation, that attraction. Cation will attract the anions towards itself. So Li plus will attract more, understood, okay, towards itself an ion. So that is called as an polarizing power, high hydration energy, and non-availability of d orbitals. Okay, so comparison of properties of lithium with other elements of the group, if you take, means lithium have a hot, high melting and boiling point, but other elements in the group we can take means soft, lower melting point and boiling point, and least reactive among the other elements, that is least reactive. For example, it react with oxygen to form normal oxide, forms peroxides with great difficulty, and higher oxides are unstable, but it is that is other elements and all more reactive. And the third one, react with nitrogen to give lithium nitride, no reaction. Other elements no reaction with nitrogen, react with bromine slowly but react violently. The other elements react directly with the carbon to form ionic carbides, like example Li plus C will give Li to C2. So do not, that is other elements and all do not react with carbon directly but can react with carbon compounds. Example, sodium combined with ethylene, that is acetylene, it will give sodium carbide Na2C2. Next, compounds of lithium are sparingly soluble in water, but others and all highly soluble in water. Lithium nitrate decomposes to give oxide and decompose to give nitrides. Which one ma? That is other elements of the group. Okay, next one, similarities between lithium and magnesium. Between compared to magnesium and lithium, what are the similarities present? Both lithium and magnesium are harder than other elements in the respective group. Lithium and magnesium react slowly with water. Their oxides, hydroxides, are much less soluble and their hydroxides decompose on heating. Both form a nitride Li3n Mg3n2 but direct combination with nitrogen. By direct combination with nitrogen, they do not give any superoxides and form only oxides Li2O MgO. The carbonates of lithium and magnesium decompose upon heating to form their respective oxides and carbon dioxide. Lithium and magnesium do not form bicarbonates. Both lithium chloride and magnesium chloride MgCl2 are soluble in ethanol and are deliquescent. What is the meaning for deliquescent? If we keep this type of salts openly, it will be watery. So they crystallize from aqueous solution as hydrates LiCl.2H2O, MgCl2.8H2O, that only deliquescent in nature. Diagonal relationship, next one. What is meant by diagonal? That is nothing but slanting, isn't it? The two groups we are taking. In first group, first element. Second group, second element. First group, first element. Second group, second element are diagonally related. Diagonal means, slanting. Okay. So similarity between the first member of the group 1 Li lithium and diagonally placed second element of group 2 magnesium is called diagonal relationship. It is due to similar size, radius Li plus equal to 0.766 Armstrong unit and Mg2 plus equal to 0.72 Armstrong unit, more or less same, and comparable electronegativity values also. Lithium can have 1.0 and magnesium can have 1.2. Okay. Next, chemical properties of alkali metals. Alkali metals exhibit high chemical reactivity. The reactivity of alkali metals increases from lithium to cesium. Since ionization energy decreases down the group, all alkali metals are highly reactive towards the more electronegative elements such as oxygen and halogen. So some of the chemical properties of alkali metals we are going to discuss. The first one, reaction with oxygen. Alkali metal react with oxygen. Lithium forms only monoxide with oxygen, lithium oxide, simple oxide. Sodium forms both monoxide and peroxide. Sodium oxide and sodium peroxide, Na2O2 peroxide, sodium oxide, Na2O, and other elements form monoxide, peroxide and superoxides. But all these oxides are basic in nature. Example, elements like potassium, rubidium, cesium and all will form superoxide like general formula MO2 with oxygen. Next, reaction with hydrogen. All alkali metals react with hydrogen at about 673 Kelvin, lithium alone at 1073 Kelvin to form the corresponding ionic hydrides. Lithium will combine with hydrogen, Li plus H2 will give LiH, lithium hydride. Sodium combined with hydrogen, it will give sodium hydride. So hydrides behave as a strong reducing agent and their reducing nature increases down the group. Next, reaction with halogen. Alkali metals combine with halogens to form ionic halides. So reactivity of alkali metals with halogen increases down the group because of the corresponding decrease in ionization enthalpy. Ionization enthalpy from top to bottom decreases. So what reaction with halogen and it will form a halides will be increases. Next one, reaction with liquid ammonia. Alkali metals dissolved in liquid ammonia to give deep blue color solution. Before going to discuss the that is reaction with liquid ammonia, one thing I want to say, reaction with halogen. All metallic halides are ionic crystals. However, lithium iodides alone shows the covalent character. All metallic halides are, that is nothing but all metals in the alkali metal group. Halides it will form, that halides are ionic crystals, it will be formed, but lithium iodide shows covalent character as it is the smallest cation and it exerts high polarizing power on the iodide anion. Additionally, the iodide ion being the largest can be polarized to a greater extent by Li plus ion. Okay, next, reaction with liquid ammonia. Alkali metals dissolved in liquid ammonia to give deep blue solution that are conducting in nature. So the conductivity is similar to that of what pure metals. Understood? So the specific conductivity of mercury, okay, in specific conductivity of mercury in 10 to the power 4, that is ohm minus 1, and for sodium in liquid ammonia is 0.5 into 10 to the power 4 ohm minus 1. Understood? This happens because all the alkali metal atom readily loses its valence electron in ammonia solution. Both the cation and the electron are ammoniated to give ammoniated cation and ammoniated electron. So M plus X plus Y ammonia will give M of NH3 X times plus ENH3 Y times it will give. So the blue color of the solution is due to the ammoniated electron in which absorbs energy in the visible region of light and thus imparts the blue color of the solution. Okay, next, reaction with water. Alkali metals like react with water, it will give hydroxide and by the removal of hydrogen. Nothing but alkali metals react with water molecule, it liberate what hydrogen gas. At the same time, hydroxides will be formed. Example, lithium will combine with water molecule, it will give lithium hydroxide by the removal of H2. Same way, sodium combined with water molecule, it will form sodium hydroxide by the removal of H2. Same way, alkali metals react with alcohol and hydrocarbon, okay, which contain active hydrogen. So what will happen? It will liberate the hydrogen from what alkyne and it will liberate the hydrogen from alcohol also. So Na plus C2H5OH will give C2H5ONa plus hydrogen gas liberated. CH triple bond CH alkyne react with sodium, it will form first CH triple bond CNa, again another one H also will be removed. So NaC triple bond CNa, it will be formed by the removal of H2. Next, reducing activity. Alkali metals can lose their valence electron readily, hence they act as a good reducing agent. M gives M++ electron. Reaction with carbon. Lithium alone directly react with carbon and it form a ionic compound, lithium carbide. Other metals do not react with carbon directly. However, when they are reacted with compounds like acetylene, they form acetylides. So lithium will combine with carbon, Li plus C will give Li to C2. Next, uses of alkali metals. First one, the lithium metal is used to make useful alloys. For example, with lead it is used to make white metal bearings for motor engines, and with aluminium to make aircraft parts, with magnesium to make armor plates. It is used in thermonuclear reactions also. Next one, lithium is also used to make electrochemical cells. Third one, lithium carbonate is used in medicine. Fourth one, sodium is used to make sodium lead alloy needed to make tetraethyl lead and tetramethyl lead. These are organo-lead compounds where earlier it is used as an anti-knocking agent in petrol. Okay, but nowadays lead-free petrol only in use. Next, liquid sodium metal is used as a coolant in fast breeder nuclear reactors. Potassium has a vital role in biological systems. Potassium chloride is used as a fertilizer. Potassium hydroxide is used in the manufacture of soft soap, and it is also used as an excellent absorbent of carbon dioxide. Cesium is used in devising photoelectric cells. Next, general characteristics of compounds of alkali metals. All the common compounds of the alkali metals are generally ionic in nature. General characteristics of some of their compounds are discussed below. General characteristics of some of the compounds of alkali metals. First one, oxides and hydroxides. Oxides and hydroxides. Compounds of alkali metals like oxides of alkali metals, example lithium oxide, sodium oxide, combined with water it will form hydroxides as the product. Same way, peroxides also, alkali metals, peroxides also, example sodium peroxide Na2O2, combined with water it will also form what? Sodium hydroxide like hydroxide, and at the same time it will produce what? Also hydrogen peroxide also. Except lithium and sodium, all other alkali metals form superoxides also. These superoxides also gives basic hydroxide upon treatment with water. Understood? Under appropriate conditions, pure compounds M2O, M2O2, MO2 may be prepared. Next one, properties of oxides and hydroxides. The oxides and peroxides are colorless when pure, but the superoxides are yellow or orange in color. The peroxides are diamagnetic in nature. What is the meaning for diamagnetic? It does not conduct what? That is, does not attracted by the magnet. While the superoxides are paramagnetic. Paramagnetic means it will be attracted somewhat. And sodium peroxides is widely used as an oxidizing agent. The hydroxides which are obtained by the reaction of the oxides with water are all white crystalline solid. Hydroxide which are obtained by the reactions of oxides of alkali metals with water all are white crystalline solid. The alkali metal hydroxide are strong bases, so they dissolved in water with the evaluation of heat on account of intense hydration. Next, halides. The alkali metal halides MX, X may be F, Cl, B or I are colorless crystalline solids with high melting point. They can be prepared by the reaction of the appropriate oxide, hydroxide or carbonate with aqueous hydrohalic acid HX. So as the electropositive character of alkali metal increases, electropositive character of alkali metals increases from lithium to cesium. The ease with which the metals form halides increases from lithium to cesium. That is nothing but what they are saying, electropositive character also will be increases from lithium to cesium. At the same time, it will combine with halogens to form halide. That also will be increases from lithium to cesium. So all halides are ionic in nature except lithium bromide and lithium iodide. Except lithium fluoride, all other halides are soluble in water. The low solubility of LiF in water is due to the high lattice enthalpy, small size of lithium plus and F minus. So due to the presence of covalent nature, both LiBr and LiI are soluble in organic solvents. Next one, salts of oxo acids. Salts of oxo acid. Alkali metals form salts with all the oxo acids. Most of the salts are soluble in water and are thermally stable. As the electropositive character increases down the group, the stability of the carbonates and bicarbonates also increases. This is due to the decrease in polarizing power of alkali metals. Lithium can have a polarizing power high compared to sodium, compared to potassium, rubidium, cesium, like that way. So the carbonates, metallic carbonates of alkali metals are remarkably stable up to 1273 Kelvin, above which they first melt and then eventually decompose to form oxides. So lithium carbonate decomposes, it will give lithium oxide and carbon dioxide gas will be liberated. So this is presumably due to the large size difference between lithium and carbonate anion, which makes the crystal lattice unstable and strongly basic. Alkali metals except lithium form solid bicarbonate. No other metal forms solid bicarbonate. Metallic carbonate combined with carbon dioxide and water, it will form bicarbonate as the product. Important compounds of alkali metals. Under the important compounds of alkali metals, we are going to discuss about sodium carbonate. First one, sodium carbonate, Na2CO3.10H2O. It is also called as an washing soda. It is also called as an washing soda. So sodium carbonate is one of the important inorganic compounds used in industries. It is prepared by Solvay process. The name of the process is Solvay process. In this process, ammonia is converted into, first step, ammonia is converted into ammonium carbonate, NH4 twice CO3. It will be converted into ammonium carbonate, which then converted into ammonium bicarbonate by passing excess of carbon dioxide in a sodium chloride solution saturated with ammonia. First step, ammonia react with water and carbon dioxide, it will form what? Ammonium carbonate. That ammonium carbonate will combine with carbon dioxide and water, it will give ammonium bicarbonate. Ammonium bicarbonate will be treated with the sodium chloride solution, it will form ammonium chloride and sodium bicarbonate. Like this way we are getting the sodium bicarbonate. That sodium bicarbonate will undergo action of heat, it will give sodium carbonate, carbon dioxide and water molecule. Understood? Ammonium combined with water and carbon dioxide. First step, it will give ammonium carbonate. Again ammonium carbonate will react with carbon dioxide and water, it will give ammonium bicarbonate. Ammonium bicarbonate combined with sodium chloride, it will form what as the products? Ammonium chloride and sodium bicarbonate. This sodium bicarbonate will undergo heat, it will give sodium carbonate by the removal of water and liberation of carbon dioxide. Okay, ammonia used in this process can be recovered by treating the resultant ammonium chloride solution with calcium hydroxide. The last step we are getting ammonium chloride, no, that will be treated with the excess of what they are saying, calcium hydroxide. Then what will be formed? Ammonia used in this process will be recovered and calcium chloride is formed as a byproduct. Next, properties of sodium carbonate compound. Sodium carbonate, commonly known as washing soda, crystallizes as Decahydrate crystallizes as decahydrate, which is white in color. It is soluble in water and forms an alkali solution. Upon heating, it loses the water of crystallization to form monohydrate. Above 373 Kelvin, the monohydrate becomes completely anhydrous and changes into white color powder called soda ash. So sodium carbonate 10H2O will decompose. It will give sodium carbonate, and what is that? H2O, 1H2O, that's Na2CO3 dot H2O will again decompose. It will give sodium carbonate and H2O. So now that sodium carbonate is called as in soda ash. Uses of sodium carbonate. Sodium carbonate known as washing soda. It is used heavily for laundering, and it is an important laboratory reagent used in qualitative analysis and volumetric analysis. Sodium carbonate both will be used in quantitative and qualitative analysis. It is also used in water treatment to convert the hot water to soft water, softening of water. In that process, the sodium carbonate is used, and it is used in the manufacturing of glass, paper, paint, etc. Okay, paper, paint, etc. Next, alkali metals compounds. Next we are going to discuss is sodium chloride, NaCl. It is called cooking salt or table salt. Sodium chloride is isolated by evaporation from seawater. Which contain 2.7 to 2.9% by mass. Approximately 50 lakh ions of salts are produced annually in India by solar evaporation. Crude sodium chloride can be obtained by crystallization of brine solution, which contains sodium sulfate, calcium chloride, magnesium chloride as impurities. Pure sodium chloride can be obtained from crude salt as follows. Firstly, removal of insoluble impurities. First thing we want to do, removal of insoluble impurities by filtration from the crude salt solution with a minimum amount of water. Sodium chloride can be crystallized by passing HCl gas into this solution. So calcium, magnesium chloride being more soluble than sodium chloride remains in solution. So sodium chloride melt at 1081 Kelvin. It has a solubility of 36.0 gram in 100 gram of water at 273 Kelvin. The solubility does not increase appreciably with increase in temperature. Sodium chloride melts at 1081 Kelvin. It has a solubility of 36 gram in 100 gram of water at 273 Kelvin. This already you have learnt in 10th standard. 36 gram of sodium chloride taken, and it will be soluble in 100 gram of water. Then we can say that is a saturated solution, that only they are saying. So the solubility does not increase appreciably with increase in temperature. Uses of sodium chloride. It is used as a common salt or table salt for domestic purpose, and it is used for the preparation of many inorganic compounds such as sodium hydroxide, sodium carbonate, etc. Next, sodium hydroxide. The next compound of alkali metals we are going to discuss is sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide formula is NaOH. Sodium hydroxide is prepared commercially by the electrolysis of brine solution in Kastner-Kellner cell using a mercury cathode and carbon anode. Sodium metal is discharged. Brine solution is nothing but sodium chloride only. Sodium hydroxide is prepared commercially by the electrolysis of brine solution in Kastner-Kellner cell. That is nothing but container. Using a mercury is as a cathode and carbon is anode. Sodium metal is discharged at the cathode and combines with mercury to form sodium amalgam. Chlorine gas is evolved at the anode. So the sodium amalgam thus obtained is treated with water Sodium amalgam is just obtained, is treated with water, it will form sodium hydroxide. At cathode, Na plus electron will become sodium. It will be combined with mercury, it will form amalgam at the cathode, and at anode, Cl minus will become half Cl2 plus electron. Sodium amalgam is treated with water, it will produce sodium hydroxide, mercury and hydrogen gases liberated. So sodium hydroxide is a white, translucent and deliquescent solid. If we kept openly, it will become a watery, that only called as a deliquescent, and that dissolves in water to give strong alkaline solution. It melts at 591 Kelvin, and the sodium hydroxide solution at the surface react with carbon dioxide, it will form sodium carbonate. Sodium hydroxide solution at the surface react with carbon dioxide and it will form what? Sodium carbonate. Next, uses. Sodium hydroxide used as a laboratory reagent. It is also used in the purification of bauxite and petroleum refining. It is used in the textile industries and mercerizing cotton fabrics. It is used in the manufacture of what they are saying, soap, paper, artificial silk and number of chemicals. Next, sodium bicarbonate NaHCO3, it is called as an baking soda. Sodium carbonate washing soda, sodium bicarbonate baking soda, sodium hydrogen carbonate or sodium bicarbonate is used in baking cakes, pastries, etc. It is called so because it decomposes on heating to generate bubbles of carbon dioxide, leaving holes in cakes and pastries and making them light and fluffy. This compound is prepared by saturating a solution of sodium carbonate with carbon dioxide. So the white crystalline powder of sodium bicarbonate being less soluble precipitated out. So uses. Next, uses of sodium bicarbonate. Primarily it is used as an ingredient in baking, and sodium hydrogen carbonate is a mild antiseptic for skin infection, and it is also used in fire extinguishers. Next, biological importance of sodium and potassium. Monovalent sodium and potassium ions are found in large proportion in biological fluids. These ions perform important biological functions such as maintenance of ion balance and nerve impulse conduction, and a typical 70 kg man contains about 90 gram of sodium and 170 gram of potassium compared with only 5 gram of iron and 0.06 gram of copper. Understood? Okay. Sodium ions are found primarily on the outside of cells, being located in blood plasma and in the interstitial fluid which surrounds the cells. These ions participate in the transmission of nerve signal, in regulating the flow of water across cell membranes, and in the transport of sugars and amino acids into cells. So sodium and potassium, although so similar chemically, differ quantitatively in their ability to penetrate cell membranes, in their transparent mechanism or transport mechanism, and in their efficiency to activate enzyme. Thus, potassium ions are the most abundant cation within the cell fluid, where they activate many enzymes, participate in the oxidation of glucose to produce ATP, and with sodium are responsible for the transmission of nerve signal. Sodium potassium pump play an important role in transmitting nerve signals. Okay, ma? Alkali metals.